Alright, so a little video on how to make duck fat. A lot of French recipes use it. It's great to fry stuff in, tastes delicious. You can put it in the fridge for about 6 months at a time. You can freeze it for up to a year. So I'll show you a little process of what I do here with rendering some duck fat. And not the only way you gotta do it, but just the way I do it. Alright, so I've got a bunch of duck breast fat here that we took off of a bunch of ducks from North Dakota and brought it back with us. Like to use every bit of the animal we can. So we're going to take this duck fat, and this is just, if you look, this is some nice thick fat. And this comes right off the breast of the duck, and you can actually trim around their neck a little bit too. And so when you're cleaning it, you just want to get a lot of the meat off. See that there's no meat left on this. And then if you look on the other side, you'll see some, this one's pretty good, but sometimes you have little pin hairs and little fuzzy hairs and stuff. So if you do, just take a torch, burn those off. But so this is the piece of duck fat here that we're going to use, and I'll show you what we do next. Alright, so we've got our duck fat here. And what we're going to do, I always like to wash it one time, just to make sure, you know, it's been in the bag for a couple days, just to get it nice and fresh. And take that, wash it off, and you'll see I've got a pot of it going right here already. So we're just going to lay this in here. And as you cook it, it's going to curl just like bacon. All this is just fat. So as you cook it, you can see that it's rendering down into a oil. And then what we do is we're going to take that oil and we strain that off into through a cheesecloth or through a fine metal strainer, and your finished product is some just delicious duck fat. And you can cook anything you want with this stuff. It tastes amazing. Alright, so we have added all of our breast here, or at least this batch, into a cast iron skillet. Cast iron seems to work really well because it's just such a naturally non-stick surface, and you can get it hot where the whole pan stays hot, and it just kind of melts that fat down. You don't want to try to scorch this stuff and do it quick. You want to do it over a long period of time and just get every bit of fat out of this meat you can. And then once we've gotten this all rendered down, you'll be left with what's pretty much pork cracklings, but it's going to be duck cracklings. And you can, if you chop the breast into smaller pieces before you actually do this step, then you'll have smaller cracklings. If you want bigger pieces, you can leave them whole like this. These are going to continue to shrink quite a bit, so you'll be surprised by the size of these when we're done. So as you can see, these things are cooking down pretty good. Some of these have gotten real small. The first couple I put in there have really started to shrink up. And then you can see some of the newer ones out here. And that's a fresh one right there. But you can see how these things just melt down to nothing. And everything that melts down is good, usable duck fat. So you want to take your time and really let this stuff just slow cook down. That's why I use cast iron. It just really tends to do a good job at slow cooking this stuff. But just sit here, give yourself some time. We've been doing this for this batch has been going for about 30 minutes now. And it looks like we're getting a lot of grease out of these big fat North Dakota mallards and canvasbacks and teal. Got a little bit of everything in this batch, but some good stuff right here. Can't wait to try it in some recipes. So we've been cooking the same batch here down for a while now, and I can see these are really getting crispy and looking good, but they're not there yet. They're about halfway. But what we want to do is, rather than sit here and just let this grease keep cooking and cooking and cooking, we're going to go ahead and pour some of this off into our measuring cup here, and then we're going to wait some more and wait and wait and wait and let this stuff keep rendering down. In the meantime, we're going to drink 3 notched tonight. And that's some delicious beer I found in the store from Charlottesville, Virginia. So drink some 3 notched and render off some of this stuff. Let's see what we end up with here. This has been running for about I don't know, 45 minutes. So, one-handed, which I need to probably put the camera down and do a second pour here, but already we're up to over a cup. So we still gotta let this settle out, but looking good so far. Probably got another cup left in here, and still got another whole batch of this stuff to run. Stay tuned. All right, first pour. Ended up with not a lot of grease left in the bowl, and 2 solid cups of duck fat, just out of those breasts right there. And like I said, these are still cooking down. We'll probably get another cup of fat out of these before it's all said and done. So something cool I came up with was you take a lid for a mason jar, you pop the middle out, and if you just take the coffee filter and stuff it in the hole, and just tuck it almost all the way in there. And screw it right back on there. You got an easy pour filter to top off and strain your duck fat through. Set it and forget it. Come back, put them in the fridge, come back in the morning, and they'll be done straining. Pow. Pow. Alright, here we are, finished product. This is the coffee filter I was forced to use because I neglected to re-up on some cheesecloth, but takes a long time through a coffee filter. Don't recommend it. Buy some cheesecloth. But this is the liquid gold right here. Got some really good looking duck fat, and we're going to be cooking up some awesome stuff with that. And just remember that next time you're out shooting some birds, keep the skin, keep the fat. You'll love it. Alright, so the moral of tonight's story is save your duck breast when you're out there duck hunting. Even if you just get a few mallards, something like that, save those breasts. Check out this deliciousness.